Hi everyone, a couple of shout outs to our editors Becky and Ben, shout out to the art team Jay, Josh, Alex and Victor, and shout out to Underground Oracle Publishing for allowing us to use some of their content in this stream. We really appreciate all of you and we can't do this without you guys. Welcome all, I'm Bodhi, your unexceptional Dungeon Master, and today I'm joined by our exceptional cast of players. Last episode, our players interrogated Colin the Grimlock to find out a little bit more about the creatures and the cave here under Lacrima. They found out that there is a Juragar named Travis who seems to be running the operation. And swiftly after finding that out, Colin the Grimlock betrayed the team to go and alert this Travis person of their presence. So, we look forward to getting into this episode. If you're sitting comfortably, then let's begin.
As we rejoin our party of players, we find them deep in a subterranean cavern where they have just been dealing with a couple of Grimlocks and a couple of deep gnomes. And as it happened, what we just had was R&R busting open a cell where he found a kind of frail woman who had been captured, gave her his card, and then sent her on her way with Sato leading her out Ulfur's pseudo-dragon. The rest of the group kind of began making their way around the corner, chasing after Colin the Grimlock, who betrayed your guys' trust as you were all huddled, gathered around talking, and charged off to go alert currently an unknown entity, Travis Darkheart. And you guys, as it happened, Evis last lunged out to grab onto Colin, just missing, grabbing the string of his apron, pulling it loose. Colin, arriving at the other side, turns to face you as his apron flows up to the side with a gust of wind. As he turns, he's like, haha, turns and he's like, Travis, they're here, and begins to move backwards. Now, as you look into the room, you can see this triangular shaped kind of cavern, and in the center is like a makeshift stone well that has been created. You can see coming out of the rock of the roof are roots from the sacred tree above. The roots you can see though are clearly damaged, have been scratched and torn up. There's very little like outer material to them. You can see like that inner kind of plant material kind of oozing. And as it does, you can see these beautiful green droplets falling from the tree and dripping down into this well. There, next to the well, are two short dwarves with gray hair and white eyes. They have gray skin as well, and they are currently using a bucket to basically fill the buckets with this sap liquid, basically. As they hear Colin get to the other side, and they throw their buckets to the side. Over to you guys. Blanco, I believe you wanted to
yeah, Blanco has put Hunter's mark onto Colin, and now feeling really angry, welled up with anger, because loyalty and honor is something that she believes in, and betrayal is something that really gets him, like he's just
grinds Blanco's gears.
He just suddenly is sort of blind with rage at that moment in time, and he pulls his longbow and takes aim at Colin, and with his hunter's mark he lets go with the longbow.
Beautiful. Please roll to attack. The rest of you guys, can you please roll initiative?
I sure as shit will.
Hitting 17
17 absolute hits, 100% hits.
Rolling like balls today.
So we got a
Jesus.
15 for her.
Yeah, I just got that one.
Good.
Cool. I'll go through the initiative in just 1 second. Damage, Blanco.
5.
5 points of damage.
Yeah, with my hunter's mark.
1 second. Let me just find our Grimlock friend.
That's 5 with Hunter's Mark?
And then you rolled the 1d6 for Hunter's Mark as well?
Yeah. So with the
Ooh.
hunter's mark is 1d6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to add...
And I'm going to do. Has he received any damage already? Because
Yeah.
I want. Okay, so I'm going to use my Slay Colossus Slayer.
and add another d8.
Yeah,
Go for it. So,
that's all right. Another 5.
awesome. So 10 total.
Yeah.
Amazing. Do you want to describe how you eviscerate Colin with this arrow and how you take his life from him?
Absolutely. Blanco comes running up and sees the gap, pulls his longbow, releases the longbow, runs up with all his strength and athletic ability, jumps the gap, comes to the other side, and almost brings himself down in front of a Colin, and although he knows that this had to happen, he's really he just comes down and in front of him and is just showing power and strength and trying to intimidate everyone that is in the room, because he's seen these people in the room and he's come down with landed in across the gap with just this intimidating stare from his black piercing eyes, and has his longbow ready because he can now move his hunter's mark to another creature.
Who would you like to move it to?
I'm going to move it to number 2.
Amazing. So I'm not going to make you roll for the jump across because it was just too awesome. And I'll allow it. Cool. Let's go through initiative. I'm going to do this a little bit different. Let's go through from 25 to 20.
20.
20 for R&R?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Cool. Next up, 20 to 15.
Yeah, 17.
Oh, 2 17s. Who's got the higher dex between Toad and...
15.
Blanco?
Still got a 15.
Oh, 15. Sorry, my apologies. I misheard you. That's my bad. 15. Awesome. Cool. And then 15 to 10? Ooh. So 10 to 5.
I have a 6.
6?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're already on a 6. Amazing. Phenomenal. And over. Cool. And then 5 to 0.
Yeah, so 3.
2 3s, but Rom is before Geo.
Incredible. Rom on a 3. And Geo on.
Getting the battles out of the way for initiative. There we go.
Amazing. Cool. First up, we have Senor Grey Wolf.
Okay. That was a phenomenal voice crack. We're moving here, I think, to the edge, because I can't really make it any further. And I don't want to be standing on the plank. My turn ends. And I, should I say, R&R, is going to take a... okay, I'm going to rage again. Bonus action. And then... Okay, cool. I'm going to... How far away is this guy from me? Obviously, I'm not moving over there, but I can grab my token. Okay, he is 40 feet away. All right. Yeah, I'm going to take out a javelin and just toss it at this dude. I'm going to use reckless attack, so I would have disadvantage from the distance, but now I make a straight attack roll.
Awesome.
So, Boom, 25 to hit.
Oh, absolutely nail him.
7 points of piercing damage.
7 points of piercing damage. Awesome. Incredible. Let me just slap that on. Cool. So Arnar steps up, pulls a javelin from his back. It flies straight in true. You hear it whistle as it cuts through the air. It hits the Grimlock in the shoulder, embeds in. Instantly, you see blood begin trickling down his grey body. He's like, Jesus! Anything else, Arnar?
You know, I don't think I can do anything else actually. So no, I'm chilling. I'm gonna help people get over the gap, and if the board falls, I will throw them if necessary.
Awesome, perfect. So, the one that just took the javelin is gonna reach in, pull the javelin out, throw it to one side, and then he is gonna charge across to Blanco, and he is going to make an attack as this one begins to move into sight here. Cool, let me roll my attack. Cool. That one. As he runs forward, he trips on a stone and swings his club, and it lands just in front of you. As he looks up, he's like, ah! And that is the end of my turn. Blanco, it's your turn.
He's got a trip on Colin's body.
And Blanco has his, even though he's got his hunter's mark on him, he puts down his longbow and just, can I use that as a...
Yeah, you can put it down, yeah.
Yeah, put down and use my mountain hammer claws to swipe damage.
Awesome, go for it. Roll an attack, yeah.
That's a 9. Oh no, it's a 6.
6. Plus 4 is a 10.
A 10 does hit.
Okay. And with the hunter's mark, do I add?
Was it on the one that attacked you? That's
Number
I think it was
3.
on 2. I thought it was
I think it was
on
on 2. I was gonna say I thought it was on 2 as well.
Oh, I thought it was on 3. Sorry. Okay.
That's right.
So that's 7.
7, amazing. So as he kind of comes forward and he's smashed down on the ground, you swipe upwards, scratching across his chest, tearing the skin, and blood begins to ooze
And I
out.
yell, Toma! Which means, take that!
And as you do, he kind of falls backwards, kind of shuffles back for a couple of feet on the ground, and then as the blood is like seeping out of his chest, you can see he becomes dizzy and then just passes out and is dead. Well done.
He then, Blanco then can see that the second beast is coming towards him, and he takes a side step over to behind the rock, the large rock. Yeah, the other way. Sorry.
That way.
Yeah, behind the.
Awesome. Cool. By the way, crossing the plank for the rest of you guys, now as there's 2 bodies on the other side, will be classed as difficult terrain, just for the rest of you guys. Great. Cool. Next up is Toad.
So Toad's gonna be on the ground, so I can move a little quicker. I'm going to move, let's see, get to there. I'm gonna hop my way along over here. And then I'm going to so can I see the everyone in there? Like, can I see 5 and 7? Am I able to see? Because I am pretty small, so if I need to, I'll fly up 10 feet if I need to be able to get a better vantage point of them. Because I know I am below the ground, so.
You can definitely see 5. Number 7 is his head is just kind of above the well, so you can see like his head at the moment.
So I'm gonna play for number 5. I'm gonna play like a nice lilting melody. He's gonna have to make a wisdom saving throw. Looks like a nice soft lullaby on the harmonica.
Hey, that's a good old fail. That's a 5 from me.
So now he's gonna have to dash. So the target that fails, He must make a dash action move towards you. The save is available during his turn. If he can't make it to me, it's going to take 1d6 of psychic damage. So, he's on his turn, he's going to have to come towards me. He's ensnared by my beautiful melody. So I think it's on his turn, I believe.
Oh, it's on his turn. He's going to make a dash action. Awesome, no problem. Cool. Let me write that down.
You guys just hear like a nice little soft, like almost like a lullaby.
At that point, sort of Blanco sort of calms a little bit and feels calmer, you know.
Right. Anything else, Toad?
So no, I'm gonna stay where I am. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. Now, it is my turn. The two two dwarves that you can see, two Jurgar that you can see. The one that was hit by the spell dashes as far as he can, so that's going to be as close. Do you want it like right in front of you?
He has to go near me as close as he can to get to me. If he can't, then it's going to be d6 psychic damage.
Cool. I'm going to put him on the plank there, but I'm going to make him make a dex save for walking the plank. So as he walks onto the plank, enchanted by your song, you see him walk. He takes a step, stumbles for a second, tries to recover and goes the other way, falls off of the plank down into the crevasse below. Now the crevasse below, you can see has some natural light coming from it. You can see clouds below. You can hear wind blowing from there. So as he falls down the crevasse, which is like a V shape, and he gets wedged at the bottom with his head sticking out the bottom of the island with his little legs kind of running in the air. But he is now stuck down in the crevasse.
And he's got I can do 1d6 damage too while he's down there. Since he can't
Amazing,
get to me. That's me, 2 points of damage.
He's like, oh, my head. Perfect. Nice. Cool.
The way I say it's like when I do it's like almost like I'm like their favorite musician. Like you're like, you know, when people saw the Beatles, like that kind of craze when I do that. So just really wanted to get up, but
so at this point, the number 7 is going to run around this way. He's going to come to here, and he is going to be like, right, enough! And as he does, he begins to grow in size. His muscles begin to flex and swell as his arms begin to extend and his legs do as well. He begins filling up the room until his head is touching the ceiling where the roots of the tree are, and he's now with his head just kind of bent a little bit because he's touching the ceiling. He's like, right, who's first then? And he's going to stay there. Next one is going to run this way. You're going to see a dwarf run behind the well, but then as they do, poof, they puff into invisibility. So, next up is Evis.
Alrighty, so let me take a look. Hold on. Alright, so I'm just... Sorry. Alright, so 6 is Travis, or 2 is Travis?
No one's asked anyone's name yet.
Alright, well, at any rate, I think Evis is... I'm going to just... I'm going to dash across this board here. And I'm interested in, like, swiping the bodies off as I pass. Like, just, like, kind of kicking them off as I pass them to get to 2 and do some punchies.
Let's call it an acrobatics check for crossing the log and doing the kick, kind of all in one.
Okay, well that's a 24, so that's the one thing I'm good at.
Easy
thing.
Easy peasy. Absolutely smash. You get across, you knock the 2 bodies off, and they also wedge down in the crevasse with the dwarf that is currently in there. And you can hear him kind of out the bottom like, God, oh, I want to hear that music again. Jeez, oh, God, so good.
Evis doesn't know how to respond. I absolutely don't know how to respond to that. Just like, okay. But it's time to go on to 2 and do some punchies. So we're gonna spend that last key point to punch on 2 a little bit. So first we're gonna do an unarmed strike, and that is a 16 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And that is 4 damage.
Amazing. Perfect.
All right. And then we're going to do Flurry of Blows there. And so that is going to be another unarmed strike, 22 to hit.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. So that's going to be 7. Oh, whoa, shit. Yeah, that's 7 damage. That's max damage.
He goes down. He's down. He's out. You finished him. You blasted him out with those 2 punches. You absolutely blasted him out.
Wow. Yeah, Evis, like, is breathing hard after, like, kicking bodies out of the way, like, That's what no one talks about Alia the way that they did.
He'll make enough to note of that, so it's like, okay.
It's just like...
As you kind of come to after that momentary, like, fury of blows that you threw, you look at the battered body of the Grimlock, which is now kind of slumped up against the well as you blasted him backwards with your couple of strikes. Your second one, a beautiful 1-inch jab punch that just sent him off his feet, and went back and cracked his head against the well, collapsed in a lump, and is just out cold. Anything else?
No, I think I've made myself, Amber, a little dizzy from all of the punches.
I'm also just going to, because that was awesome, just going to roll a quick, just see how my guys are feeling after seeing that. Oh, that's interesting.
They're
Very
just in
poorly,
shock
actually.
from everything, and they just fall over. We've
Collapse.
done it. We beat the campaign.
They stop their life of crime.
At this point, we're going to have Ulfer join the fray here. Ulfer is going to see the giant dwarf stood in front of him, going to see the legs in the crevasse, and he's going to assess for a quick second. He's going to look up at the giant Duragar, and he's going to say, "That's a Duragar! I'm surprised I didn't come to this conclusion, of course. Duragar, that's what was dead. Makes perfect sense now. Jeez, guy, okay. Right, what's it? Huh? And he gets in fighting stance, and at that point, he's going to step forward and begin muttering verbal words that are like of some sort of speech that you guys don't understand. He begins moving his arms, and as he does, he pushes both hands forward towards the giant beast, and what comes out is almost like a haze of like energy, and as it travels across the room, it hits the gnome, and then what you see is basically the center of its chest begins peeling away slowly, almost like it's flaking away into nothing. And as it does, it begins rippling across his body as he's like, "Arr! Arr!" as his body begins disintegrating and he begins withering down until there's just flakes of ash floating in the air. And he goes, "Huh!" Ulfer goes, "Huh! Didn't do too well against disintegrate, did you?" Got it. And that is going to be the end of his turn.
Okay. Looking at Arthur like, whoa.
What?
And that is going to be the end of his turn. Next up...
Micah just falls from the mouth.
Next up is Ron.
Okay. I'd like to move forward. Try and sidle in between Toad and Ulfa.
You are, yep.
And then I would like to ask Reshi if she would teleport all that are willing across the other side to the bridge, so we don't have to walk across it.
Awesome. Yep. All that are willing. Ulfa's like, "I'm willing."
Yeah. And then so we zoop across. And then I'd like to cast Enlarge Reduce on the Duragar in the hole, so he might fall through, shrink him, so he falls through the gap.
Amazing.
Oh, teamwork!
do
Oh
you
my
roll
god,
for that?
5. Level 5.
Let's find out. Sorry.
I don't think I have to make a roll for that. I think it just happens, doesn't it?
Does it? That seems ridiculously OP.
No, you do. You do. It should be con.
I was gonna say, I thought.
Sweet, yeah, it is, yeah.
It should be a concept.
Okay. I shrink in. Cool. Let me roll. Oh, he fails massively. that was a 2. An absolute 2. So he goes from being like, oh, that music, and as that happens, he shrinks down, and you see his little legs disappear out the bottom of the island. Where there was a dwarf, there is but wind rushing through now. As you hear the little squeal of his voice disappear with, and then as he fell through the clouds below.
I should tear for one of my fans.
Say goodbye! Oh yeah, sorry about killing your fan. I didn't. Hopefully he wasn't your only one. I'm your fan, to be fair. I tried to inspire you, but that's all I can do. And I am my turn, I guess. Awesome. So it's Geo. Oh, you're right.
Geo.
During all of this, Gio's hearing, all sorts of levels of Toad's melody, and just, people falling, scrabbling down, and all this other stuff, and just trying as fast as possible to get there as quick as possible. But also remembers the last vision of Evis doing a parkour and thinks that's the strategy going forward. So Gio, in as fast as he possibly can, is going, but it's slow motion, and he has his staff out, and he does sort of a 360, and in his mind he's literally like catapulting himself, but he's kind of walking around his pole, and then he's moving forward, and all he can do is just close a little bit more distance and say, I'm coming, Toad! I'm coming at this! Don't worry, I'm coming, guys!
Can you make a dex check for me?
Geo trying to do.
And you still got. I don't know if you use that. I don't know if you use that. I don't know if you use that bardic inspiration.
Yeah,
you have bardic inspiration as well.
I do have bardic inspiration. Great, because that was a crit fail.
Oh my god!
Roll with advantage. Do I get a D4 with it?
Should waste
No,
it.
you get a D6. D6.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I'm gonna.
You can save it over every time. I mean,
Geo does his best to be as graceful and athletic in this parkour, like 360 around his staff, but he rolls a crit 1.
Amazing. Amazing. So as Geo goes up the stairs, you go to like kick off a rock and it kind of breaks and you kind of stumble a little bit and you're like, okay. And then you like keep going. You go to like jump off your staff and you feel it bend a little bit as you do. And it kind of like launches you forward a little bit. And you end up a little bit further than you were hoping as you kind of bump into the wall. And but you are making it up the tunnel. You are making it there.
no one saw.
Geo is such a good, pure soul, and I will protect him with my life.
I think that's all I've got. Just knowing that I'm getting closer to the action, and I'm getting really, really excited.
You can dash if you want. You can take another 30 feet.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Okay, so I turn around. I get up to the. No, I don't get that far. I get to that right where you are, right there, and I see what's in front of me, which is a plank. And as much as I was enthusiastic that minute before, I now look at the plank. I look down at myself. I look at the plank. I look at everyone else. I make eye contact with a couple, and I guess I'm assuming that I need to cross the plank, but I'm frozen right there, and I'm not sure what to do. And I say, I'm not sure if maybe I'm coming. I am coming, and I squat down on my knees. And I now start taking just two little, so I'm hands and knees right now. I'm taking two little turtle, hands and knees, crosses forward, but I'm not even, at the point where I'm in the gap. Just before the gap, but I'm really shaking right now.
Amazing. What an incredible turn in combat that was. Wow. Fantastic. Just top-notch stuff right there. Cool. And anything else, Gio?
No, I just in my mind.
You still have your spectral weapon, by the way, unless you stop concentrating on that.
No, I'm not in a mindset to even think about that. I'm
So
just
not concentrating on that.
no. In my mind, lots of things are swirling. The group, which is in action, and all this stuff is happening. My mom's voice is trickling through my ears. My dad's voice is trickling through my ears, and I'm a little bit confused about being in this moment of a challenge to me that I'm not sure whether I'm up for it right now.
You got it. Right, cool. Top of the order, Arnar, over to you.
So I saw this guy go invisible, correct?
Indeed, you did.
So I know it's not exactly kosher, but my rage is flavored as focus. Can I put my ear to the ground to see if I can sense any vibrations of this guy to kind of get a general location?
Love that.
100%. You would also, I would say, with that as well, because you're getting closer to the ground, I was going to say if you were just listening, flat check, because you're getting so close to the ground listening for tremors, you can do that with advantage. Go for it.
Is that perception or investigation?
Whatever you feel is more fitting. Do you feel like you're listening, or are you searching more so? I guess
definitely
is what
searching. R&R is definitely, he's not the wisest of fellas, but he's definitely trying to pierce through the movements of his friends to anything, any irregularities as they were.
Cool.
So I'll try investigation at advantage. Thank the Lord for that. Never mind. You know what? Let's throw inspiration on that baby. Dear goodness.
It was a D10 as well from last session because of the moment you had with Toad with the harmonic.
Right.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. That's
10 total. Holy shit! That is abysmal.
dang.
With a 10, if you get close to the ground, you go to focus and listen, and you can hear Geo kind of shouting in the background. You can hear Toad's, harmonica here and there. You can hear, Blanco and Evis panting as they've both just been in heavy melee combat. It's a little bit distracting. You usually work with just Toad, and so it's usually a lot quieter than this. And so with all this noise around you, you're struggling to find that focus point, and you're not able to detect any sort of movement or vibrations where you are.
All right. In that case, I'm going to run to the last known location of this dwarf and just swing. I don't know if I'm going to hit anything, but I'm going to try. So where was that? It was right here, if I'm not mistaken.
It was around here, actually.
Okay, then I can move 35 feet, and I'm just going to take a swing in that general area. I don't know if this will hit anything or not. It's going to be a disadvantage regardless.
Yeah, disadvantage.
Yeah. You know what? Let's make this reckless to cancel it out. That's a 19 total. I don't know if that even hits anything, but...
As you raise your maul high in the air, and you bring it back with a hip twist, less of an arm, and it comes fully from the hips. You swing with all your might, and the air, as you cleave through absolutely nothing, just air.
Figured. Was with a shot. All right, cool. All right, well, at least I've made myself a target, so that's what I'm waiting for.
Well, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. If it's gonna be anyone, it's gotta be me.
Amazing,
Thank
cool.
you, Tank Man.
Next up is Blanco. Toad, you're up after that.
Blanco comes from behind the rock, but through the gap and behind the other side. He's focused on where he last saw the other Durgar, but he's just watched R&R Greywolf swing in that area, and I'm now sniffing in the air and trying to catch a scent. Can I catch a scent anywhere?
Oh, I love it.
Using my scent, my smell.
You can make a survival, and I kind of cast Durgar as a type of dwarf, and as they're your favorite people, you can do it with advantage, Tracy.
She's already got advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, 21.
Boom. Boom. With the 21 Blanco, as you come around and you see Arnar, the air blows, and as it sweeps across you, you get a scent. It smells sweaty, dirty, and of this, a scent that is familiar to you, actually. Smells just a tad, just a little bit, like the cream of the crop, sacred cider that you had smelt Toad swimming in the pub. And as you kind of sniff it in hard, you can tell that it's coming from like this general kind of like area up here, basically.
I go, I can smell it. And I like dash forward past R&R using up the rest of my movement, which is about another 20 feet, but the other side. And with my hunter's mark, I hunter's mark where the smell is. Can I hunter's mark the smell, which I believe is the Duragar in...
I think you have to have a visible target.
Yeah, I do? Okay.
I believe so.
With that, I'm going to...
Yeah, it has to be something you can see.
Okay. I'm going, he is over here! Like, and I yell back to everybody, I've located him! And he's 20 feet ahead of me!
Great.
Like this. And I'm, just like, so like, we've got to get this, I'm like, so, and I now pull my longbow and I am going to fire into the air.
Go for it, awesome. Can you give me a, like, direction? So if...
Yeah, where that rock is, sort of over between the rock and the last root.
This one?
Yeah, just a bit further over.
This one?
Keep going down.
Down.
Yeah, where that red circle was, sort of just a bit over there, just a bit further to the left.
Go for it. To the left. Okay.
Yeah.
Do that again. That was cut.
Sorry. 14.
Let me just...
And let's see, I get 14. Yeah, I'm just going, hang on. Plus 5, 18.
18.
19. 14 plus 5 is 19.
Oh, 19, sorry.
19. Okay, 1 second. Let me just... Cool. Okay. Can you please roll your damage? Ooh! And as you loose an arrow, it hurls through the air, and at the last second you made just the slightest adjustment to the left, as you said, and it hits the Duragar with a thud into his armor. As he does, the invisibility comes off of him. He's like, ah! No one strikes Travis. And then snarls at you.
And 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Awesome.
And I think...
now?
You
I go, I do!
Literally, you chose the exact square. The exact square he was on. That was amazing. That was incredible. Cool. Toad, you are up.
Awesome. Okay, so we see Travis. So I'm going to... Got 30, so I'm going to hop over 30 feet, so hop, quickly hop up here. And I'm going to... Because I see Travis, I'm going to... You know what? Let's go with... I'm gonna look at Travis. I'm gonna play a sharp sound that Travis is gonna hear. He's gonna have to make a charisma save, and he's gonna bring him back to like one of his worst memories that he has.
Oh, Jesus! What save are you making?
Okay.
It's gonna be a charisma 13.
A charisma 13. Jesus! Oh, I failed so bad. A 5.
So I play a sharp note of rings in his mind, and he gets pulled back to memory, whatever like the memory that pains him the most. Something he's like maybe he regrets, just a terrible memory that's gonna be back inside right now, and that's going to be.
It's his pants at troll school.
All right, it's not bad. That's 10 points of psychic damage that he takes.
10 points of psychic damage. Wow. Okay.
No one makes Travis bleed his own blood.
As you do this, you see Travis stop for a second, He grips his head. He goes, "Oh, Jessica, why did you go?"
Hi, Jessica.
And that. Anything else, Toad?
I think it's good. I'm gonna just. Yeah, I'm good.
Cool. At this point, Travis shakes it off, and then goes, begins growing as well. You see his muscles begin to flex and grow and expand. His arms stretch as his neck elongates. His jaw becomes much wider. His quads begin to expand, and suddenly in his space, again, another giant dwarf now filling the entire room. As he looks down, he goes, "Ow, my head, not again." And with that, he is then going to charge at Blanco. And he is going to...
How big is he? Is he okay? He's more than 5 feet away from me, right? Because how many squares is he taking up?
Size-wise, he is large on the D&D scale now. So he is then going to swing and trying to attack Blanco. Wow, that's a crit 1. As he swings for Blanco, he gets his big axe that he wasn't expecting to be as big as, he's now swollen up in the size of this room. Swings in, it catches along the wall and scrapes. As it does, and it loses all the power of Blanco, you're easily able to step out of the way and dodge it. With that, he's going to turn back. I'm going to get you all. And that is now Ulfer's turn.
Evis.
Sorry, my apologies. Yes, it's Evis. I am so sorry. It is Evis' turn. So sorry.
I was like, who's Ulfer?
I thought I messed up. My apologies. It's Evis' turn. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Alright, so... Oop, hold on. Wrong tab. Okay, Evis, how many feet am I away? Okay, 20. So, yeah, Evis just leaps over these bodies and just like boing, 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 boing to get to Travis. And and they're just like, "I'm sorry, Jessica left you, but Alia has sent me to bless you with forgetting about her." And I like levy a punch. Actually, no, I levy like a big bonk with my quarterstaff on top of his head.
Awesome.
And that's a 15 to hit.
15 does not hit.
Ah, dang. Okay.
Any Flurry of Blows? Anything
no,
like
I've
that?
used all my key points.
Awesome, no problem. So as you run over and you swing your big thing and you say the name Jessica, you see his eyes turn red and he steps to one side quickly, moving out of the way. Oh, don't say her name. As
you said her name? You said her name. You're the one.
I'm allowed. And with that, anything else from
It's kind of what happened in the
Evis?
Academy Awards.
Oh my god!
Wow, this is gonna be dated. This is gonna be funny. This is gonna be dated.
Oh my god!
Oh
Oh my god! Yes.
Yeah, immediately you know when this episode came out.
Take my wife's name out of your mouth.
Why? Oh, this is suddenly worse. Oh no!
Cool.
No,
Go for it.
Evis is
Go on.
now glad that the punch didn't land because, oh no, emotional damage is worse than punchy damage.
It's the stones.
Cool. So after Evis's turn, it's now Ulfer. Ulfer is going to step into the room, and at this point, he is going to. One moment. Yeah. He is going to cast Scorching Ray. Oh, I'm trying to look at the range spell attack. Cool. Let's make that range spell attack.
Isn't it for each of the balls or the rays?
Yeah, for each of them. Yeah.
Scorching Ray word?
Oh. I see what you did there. So that is going to be.
We're camping has a lot of friends around, so.
So, Ulfer steps forward and begins kind of making his way across the room. Gets kind of in between these guys and is going to put his hand forward. As he does, his fingers spread wide, and from almost like the ends of his fingers, 3 bolts fire out. The first 2, and like almost like fireworks that don't exactly fly off, right? Go and like fly off in different directions. One hits the roof, one hits like the floor, and make little cracks in the ground. The final one though flies straight and hits the Jurgar, hits Travis in the chest as it begins burning away, and it actually burns away the end of the arrow. You just have the little stump in it. He's like, that hurts. Oh. And Ulfer's gonna be like, oh, I haven't done that one in a while. Well, I'll get to better next time. I promise all of you, you won't see that happen again. I'm not. I don't fire blanks, me. It's not an age thing. Many people say it's an age thing. It is not an age thing. It's not an age thing.
Oh God.
And with that, next up is Rom.
I'm gonna be like, watch the bloody tree. Like, that's your main priority. Is they like scold Ulfer for hitting the sacred being. And then I turn around and be like to Geo, you got it, buddy. Like, and I'll send Reshi to like swim with him as he's like crawling along the thing. Like, all my attention's on Geo. Just like, you got it. Like, let's go. I'm not gonna teleport you, but I'm gonna let you do it yourself. Yeah. So
Awesome. Incredible. Next,
just in case he falls, that's what I'm saying. I'm readying an action when he falls.
Oh, okay. You're readying an action to grab.
Or teleport him. When
Teleport him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next up is Geo.
Geo makes eye contact with Rom and sees Reshi and is crawling right now, but decides the only way to get across this is to do this the right way. So he gets himself up on his 2 sort of big feet that are each kind of leaking over the side of this plank, and his knees are shivering a little bit, but he tries to think of some sort of inspiration, and he thinks back to his conversation with R&R and the possible band that is going to be formed with R&R and Toad, and he starts whistling. And so he takes his first step, and he's just whistling, and he closes his eyes because as he starts to whistle, he starts thinking that he's tapped into almost like an energy, almost like a Skywalker energy. And what comes out of his mouth is and he takes his next step.
Amazing. So, with that, because you closed your eyes, it was going to be with disadvantage, but because you're getting the help from your buddies in the band and it's like a moment inspiration, that was going to be advantage, so we'll call it a flat check of dexterity as you walk across.
All right, here we go. All right, this is a journey. Sergio rolled a 5.
As you begin whistling your first step, you take so confidently, and it goes so well. It lands perfectly in the center of the plank. You believe in this moment with all your heart. And as you take your second step, it just slips off, and you kind of teeter for a second. You feel it kind of going, and as you open your eyes, you see the roof kind of above you as you begin to topple towards the crevasse.
Reshi will teleport you to your exact position, so you still gotta like cross the bridge.
Hey.
Yeah, so
Teleports you back onto the bridge.
yeah.
There you go.
So somehow I'm back onto the bridge, and I don't even know how, except I see some flame from Reshi, and I'm kind of connecting the 2 things together. And I look over to Rom, and and Rom gives me the thumbs up, and I give Rom the thumbs up. And I'm still on the bridge though, not quite prepared to whistle anymore. And I now know that I'm in the middle of this bridge, and I've almost fallen. Well, I've fallen once. I fell once, and so now I'm frozen again. I'm looking at Rom and getting ready to make my next step.
Yeah, 1 foot forward, you got it.
Dex check it up.
Here we go.
And you can do it with advantage this time because eyes open and Ron and Reshi are there supporting you.
Switch it up.
Oh, wow. Wow. I rolled 2 3s.
Wow.
They're both negative. So yeah, here we go. So I take my next step.
Take your next step and he goes the other side this time.
Yeah, so I take my next step, and again, my feet are literally the width of this, or maybe hanging over this wooden plank, and just the bit that's hanging over has enough weight on it that starts leaning me this way. And this is almost like, physics-wise, kind of impossible for me to cross. It's very, very difficult with my feet facing forward. But I think I've learned something, that I need to kind of slant my feet if I survive this. But I haven't. So I'm now kind of going this way.
You used your ready action.
Yeah, I've got
already.
nothing. I could try and catch him, but...
So at that point, you tumble down, and you're going to take... You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you into the crevasses. Your shell scrapes against the rock as you fall down.
I'm sorry!
You stay wedged in the bottom. Your thick, big body. Not even your legs dangle out. Your head is maybe at like plank height. Actually, your eyes are maybe at plank height because of how big you are.
Sorry, guys. I think I'm okay. Go on. You continue on. I'll be fine.
Okay. If that's what you wish. I know.
Amazing.
But I'm moving.
Arnar, back to you. Top of the order.
Alrighty. Let's kick some ass, shall we? Can I flank with Evis or Blanco?
Yeah, 100% you can.
Okay. So if that is giving me advantage, I'm going to reckless attack, which would give me nothing usually, but then I'm going to take disadvantage on top of that, so I could use my class feature. So therefore, it cancels out 2 advantage.
Oh, wow.
Big brain tactics here. Let's. So this is an advantage with a maul. Please. There we go. 24 to hit.
Easily. Wow,
Okay.
dude. That was awesome, dude. That is awesome.
So 14 points of damage, and I am going to use the... It's a special feature from my subclass, and it's called Fracture, and until he takes a long rest... Or is he dead?
So I was about to say...
a long rest.
I'm gonna make my how do you want to do this? I'm gonna change it, and because I don't want to use the same phrase, I'm gonna say, describe that shit to me, Sam. Go for it.
I think Arnar, seeing the gap kind of given to him by Blanco and Evis, is going to slide between this guy's legs, and as he does so, like with his fist, like kneecaps him real quick, and then as he's like kneeled over, just takes his maul and just brings it down with colossal force.
Amazing. As you brain him on the top of the head, it smashes him downwards and actually like almost counter whips his body. His feet come off the ground as his face pile drives into the concrete downwards. You hear what may have been a spine that is no longer crumble as he hits the ground, and he stays kind of in like a position with his legs in the air and his back kind of accordioned on the ground as he shrinks back down to size, and his body flops over to the side. Damn.
Rad.
Dang!
And we leave initiative order.
I'm going to...
Blanco goes up to Evis and Arnar and is like, gracias, mi amigos. You are, I forgive me because I became rather angry. I believe in loyalty and this was not done with these dwarves, and please forgive me, but I see that you are here with me and we are here to save this tree, to save these people, and I thank you for being by my side through that last combat.
Blanco, you are good. You are fine. Honestly, that was impressive. But I feel like in the spirit of loyalty, I need to go back and get Geo.
I think this is very important. We are We are a team, and I heard him calling from somewhere.
Yeah. So
Is,
Evis is gonna actually like go over and try to get Geo from the crevice to help pull him out.
Awesome. You guys as a team don't need to make a check. You guys managed to pull Geo out of the crevasse. Which side of the crevasse are you pulling him out onto? The inside the room or outside the room?
Mm-hmm. Inside the room. Is
Cool.
what I'm
There you go. There you go.
Look at Rom, kind of nod, and then look at the tree. I'm going to use one of my kind of exhausted. I'm going to play one more tune for the tree. I'm Celestial Rain, so I'm going to look up towards. I can't see this guy, but I'm still just going to imagine through the roof. I'm going to do Celestial Rain, so it's going to be again a 5-foot radius with 40 feet high. It's going to come down centered like on the center of the tree, just like raining down. Fragrant holy oil is going to pour down on the tree, and healing.
Amazing. As you do that from above, it rains from above onto the tree, and you see bits of this rain, seep through the cracks and begin dripping into the well as well. And as you do, some of the roots begin mending themselves. You see like that outer like furry layer of like root skin kind of return to some of these roots as the sap begins getting enclosed in cell membrane again. And who knew biology was? Jesus, wow, that came in much more handy than I was ever expecting. And as you do so, the tree begins to kind of re-heal. As you guys kind of feel the room settle, bodies laid around, you can see over in the like southwest corner, there's basically like a mixing station over there. And against the wall, close to where Blanco and all of you are, there's a couple of kegs that are like stacked up on one another. And you can see that they were basically mixing the cider and whatever the sap was together from where you guys are. You can see that there's some sort of like tubes going into each other, and you can see that one is feeding this green elixir and one is feeding that gold apple cider from the keg into like into a container.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to the tree and druid craft it and like sit down there for a bit. I feel like that's owed to it.
Amazing. So you go sit underneath the tree and start druid crafting and repairing all the roots that weren't repaired by the rain. Doing a great job, literally.
Blanco sort of at this point is still a bit wary. He's still not too sure if there happens to be another Duragar that is like hidden, like vanished or anything that we hadn't seen. And so he's just sort of going around and checking and sniffing. I'm checking. Everyone would give me a moment while I clear the room and check for smells in case there are more Duragar here that are possibly dangerous for us.
You can make a survival or a perception check, whichever you prefer.
May I investigate the room as well?
Of course, yeah, of course you can.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
17.
Perception.
No, it's just a perception. So whatever.
Okay.
Cool. With a 17 R&R, you can deduce that this is definitely what was messing the tree up and sapping life from it. You can tell that the process of whatever was going on here, you can tell that they were drawing liquid from the sacred tree and using it to combine with the cider. And you don't know what was then done with it, but you can see that they have a couple of, like bottles of this, like, the liquid is no longer green or like gold in color. It's more this like basically like tealy like turquoise color as it spins with like almost like gold flakes in it, more so like almost like it's solidified the cider, and that's like floating around in it solidified now.
I got a 12 on mine.
12. As far as you can tell, there is nothing else in this room. From where you came, like the smells of the breeze coming from the crevasse that you guys crossed allows you to kind of tell that there's not much else in here. You can smell now like blood, fresh blood, and things like that. But other than that, there's nothing new or different that you're smelling.
I sort of pass this information to the group. I say that I believe there is nothing else here that we have to fear.
At that point, Geo is just sort of assessing his scrapes and sees that there's some, a little bit of superficial damage. And Evis is next to him, and he doesn't even want to make eye contact, and he just says, "I'm really sorry, Evis. I feel like I let everyone down, and I don't know. I don't know."
No, absolutely not. Your
I did.
presence.
I couldn't even cross the plank. How am I supposed to do this? I can't even. I don't even belong here.
I'm gonna move the celestial rain over because it's like a sun's gonna move it over to Geo. So it's gonna. Let me see if I can just bring it out. Yeah.
My dad didn't believe in me, and I thought I was gonna. I can't even.
You start feeling this warm liquid drop onto you as it begins kind of calming your demeanor a little bit and healing you a little bit.
As that's happening, I feel.
As long as you're good aligned. If you're good any kind of line, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it gives you 7 points of healing, Tom.
Great. And at that point, I kind of, through all of that sort of depressed dejection, I can hear the voice of my mom just saying, "Keep going, Geo, keep going." And at that point, I just feel the warmth coming, and I look at Evis, and I just hand out my hand to Evis, and I'm hoping for them to, which they do, and I feel
They
real.
do.
Thank you.
They
And,
do. Yeah, they say, I know it can be disappointing, but everyone goes at their own pace.
Yeah.
Oliver walks up to you both at this point and puts a hand on both of your shoulders and is like, "Look now, Gio, everyone fails on the journey of life. It's the only way that we can succeed. I have failed countless. You saw my spell. Shit happens, It's heat of the moment. It's all good,
I didn't see it. I was down in the crevice.
Well, next time you will see it because you're going to have learned from not walking the plank. You're going to just, jump or something. We're going to work it out next time, and we're going to be here to support you." With that being said, it seems, guys, I'm not sure about you, but whatever was going on here is awful, and nothing, no tree, no person, no people should be treated like this. And I feel glad that we have done this, but let me just say, I am blown away by this group. You not only exceed expectations, but you entertain me very much. And that is something that I very much appreciate in both people and also possible compatriots. Now, I don't want to bring too much up about this, but I would love to have a discussion with all of you, possibly when we return to the pub of some work or something. I have some things that I could definitely use a band of, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. I could use you guys. You guys have the flair and what I feel like I've kind of been missing on my end. So love to chat to you about that a little bit later. But for the moment, shall we collect some of the stuff in here? Maybe the
sap.
bodies? Yes, the sap, yes. I don't know. Is there enough buckets?
Oh. Yeah, there's some barrels there behind you.
We can definitely fill up those. Yes.
Could you start a history check on it? I mean, being from a shadier area, have I seen this kind of substance before at all, or just come? Because since I'm from a shadier area, would I maybe have seen something like this on some sort of market or something? I don't know.
I can tell you that this is only being made here.
Gotcha.
This
Okay.
is only being made here.
Can I take Geo aside?
Yeah.
Okay. Arno's gonna pull Geo to the side and say, "Geo, you may not be the best at fighting yet, and that is fine. But one thing I know for sure is that you will be a fine detective." And I hand him my business card.
Codes off in the background, just like, yes.
And I hold the business card and I say, "Does that mean what I think it means, Arnar?"
It means we're going to have to edit this and get 500 more, because I had these just made with 2 names on it. Now we're going to have to do 3. You're going to have to pitch in a little bit. There's a bit of an entry fee because these are not cheap to get them printed. But yes, no, you're definitely a part of the team now.
Aw.
And Gio's just kind of speechless. He feels like real love, looking from Evis to Arnar, and is just really, really thankful about having discovered this group, and just says, I will do anything to make you proud, Arnar. And Evis, I will be by your side along the way, and I promise I'll do better. I promise I will.
As you do that and you kind of pan between them, Oliver, who's kind of stood between R&R and Evis, kind of like moves as you look and is like, no, okay.
At that point, Blanco goes over to, oh my gosh, Rom, and says, Rom, I am feeling in my core some regret. Dwarves are my people, and here we have three fallen dwarves. I know they had evil in them, but I'm wondering if maybe you can help me move some rocks and we can bury them, because this will make me feel I have honored still my people from Brynlaw and my master Conthor and Rosada Mountain Hammer. They would be very disappointed with me if I left their people without internment.
I'm happy to. I don't think I'd like to help you with Travis. I feel like he needs some punishment for the sacrilege he's caused to the tree. Maybe being dropped out the sky hole. But the other two, yes, I'm happy to help you.
Let's enter the other two, and while doing that, I shall ponder how I feel about Travis.
Okay. All right. Definitely help.
You guys begin moving some rocks to the north, then begin piling them up around the bodies before placing the last rock on the face of the Tuturagar. Blanco leans down and places their paw on the eyes and just closes the eyes of the Tuturagar before bowing slightly, rising back to the knees and stepping away from the bodies. As all this is kind of going on, you notice that as the tree is like healed, it almost is like healing itself like faster. Like it's almost like from the moment that it was stopped being like hurt, it started just helping itself, and like the sap is helping it, and like you can tell that it's really going back. The roots are like spreading across the roof and expanding, and there's a lot of life in this room now.
I'd like to snap a little bit of my twig off and like put it into the tree, so hopefully it will like grow with it. So there's a little bit of me in the tree. Yeah, graft it onto the tree a little bit, if that's possible.
So you dip it in the well, and then are you putting it like on one of the roots?
Yeah, so then like it like grows into it. That'd be nice.
Amazing, cool.
There's a well, right? So
yeah.
Well, like, I just take like a quick dip in the well.
Yeah, you can definitely take a dip.
The fly over to like, well, see, I'm gonna dip, just go into it, just like then come
straight
out.
In. Okay. Can you please?
Gosh.
Can you make a Constitution check as opposed to saving throw for me?
Okay. That's just
Could I also empty out my warp
gonna
sack
be-
and take this thing? Cheers.
This means just a straight, just the ability modifier, correct then for Constitution?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna be a 14.
14, amazing. With a 14, Toad, you slide into the well all smooth, and as you do, the green sap around you begins to absorb into your skin. You receive 12 points of healing as you do.
I was like, oh gosh, this is gonna hurt.
What
does it taste like on my skin?
It tastes like, you know, when you if you've ever bitten like a raw like vegetable or raw like leaf, it's almost like a watery, but it has a kind of off tang to it, like that almost like sharp bit to it kind of thing. It's basically like that. And as you kind of sit and permeate, within a couple of seconds, you feel not just tipsy, but a little bit drowsy and a little bit slurry and all over the place.
Is a little, a little strong. This is some good stuff.
And picks you up and grabs you out of the well and kind of plops you onto the side of the well. I was like, "Whoa, you're right there. It seems like it's a little bit stronger than you were maybe expected."
I'm good. I'm good. I'm not like facing. I'm not even facing. I'm looking the opposite way. I'm fine. I'm good.
Clearly. And he turns to Arnar and kind of looks at Arnar and then looks back at Toad and is like, do you want to help your friend?
Yeah, you shouldn't drink.
I'm totally investigating something on the ground right now. Oh no. What happened to Toad?
Nothing. I just, it's the water.
Oh no. Did he dip himself in whiskey again? Oh, this is shameful. I'll grab him like I'll grab him like hamburger.
Amazing.
I go up to Arnar.
I'm fine.
I'm happy for you to put him on my back because I can carry Toad for a while.
Toad, are you okay? Toad?
Yeah, I'm good. Just just enjoying some sap. Just good.
Okay.
Look, I'm blind right now.
Gio, if you would like to carry Toad, here he is.
Yeah, right here on my bedroll, right here next to my bedroll in my neck, and he'll be fine. I'll take care of him.
Imagine I'm sticky. You just slick me on their stick.
The sap sticks you to next to the bedroll, and you're placed on the neck of Geo. With that, Ulfer is going to kind of make his way over to the potion brewing area and be like, "What were they making? This is crazy. I don't mix any." And he turns on. Does anyone know anything about mixing potions or anything? Anyone?
I've studied a little. I don't know much. It wasn't my specialty.
Take a sip. Just try it. You're just sip it. You're gonna trust me. It's gonna be good. Just take a little sip.
I could perform a medicine check actually and see if it's at least got healing properties or.
Just trust me. It does. Okay, you guys. Just trust me. Just take a little sip, and you guys will feel so good.
Toad, look at me. How many fingers am I holding up right now?
You keep moving them. How am I supposed to hold it? Wait, just.
Oh, okay. You can see that I'm moving them. Okay, great. Wonderful.
There's maybe the 3. Definitely 6.
That's. Is that right?
Sure.
Did you know you have 6 fingers? I don't know. I haven't. Ulfer looks at his hands. I have 10. What do you guys have?
I have 10 fingers.
I also have 10.
Oh, look at that. Amazing. And he kind of leans forward and brings the vial over to you, Evis, and is like, you said you wanted to see about healing properties or anything. Here, have a look. And it's that kind of turquoise liquid with the gold flakes in it that he hands you.
Okay. And then, so Evis does a medicine check on it, like takes a sniff, like a little whiff, and then takes like a pinky and dips it in. I got a 12 on that medicine check.
That's perfect. With a 12, you can tell that you can instantly taste, like when a bit of the gold hits your tongue, you can taste that lacrima cider again. However, the greenish like sap liquid that it's now mixed with, that has become a lot more like liquid, less viscous basically, tastes almost like bitter. Like it's almost like sweet bits in like a bitter drink. But as you do, you receive 2 points of healing.
Oh, good.
Off that little bit you just picked up on your pinky. And as far as you can tell, it definitely heals. And as far as you're aware, like from Toad's reaction to your tasting, the assumption is somewhere along the lines that what he endured is a lot stronger than what you just had. Almost like they were diluting the kind of situation.
Yes. Well, Toad being smaller, significantly smaller, probably got a bigger dose of it, and this is definitely a healing potion, but Toad might need to lay down just a little
I
bit.
am a large toad for my size, okay?
For your size.
I am no lightweight.
But
Damn.
look at R&R compared to you.
I mean, okay, like maybe 10 pounds, but give or take. Come on, Geo, back me up, Geo. Come on, you're part of the team now. You gotta.
That is mathematically incorrect.
I agree. I definitely don't think the Toad is anywhere near as heavy as Arna. I don't think that. I don't agree at all. No. Mm-mm.
Well, are we talking about actual weight, or are we talking about spirit and energy? Because I think Toad is as heavy as anyone here in this group, and I can feel it right next to my face, and it feels like he weighs as much as anyone here, including me, which is a lot.
Well, that's a lovely sentiment, but yeah. You know what? Facts are also an opinion-based thing these days. So sure,
No, they're not.
Sure, you can have that one. Not a problem, Gio. So, guys, what do you think? Do you think we do we tell the people what do you think the strategy is here? Obviously, we've got a lot of bodies. Doesn't look super great, but what's your guys' idea for how we kind of move forward? We got that elixir stuff, and Ulfer kind of grabs a vial and slips it into his coat as he says that.
I think
press release.
Press release. Oh, of course.
After any case, I typically do not deliver them, as I'm not entirely succinct with my answers.
Yeah,
No, you not.
Let's give Toad a little while before we do it, though.
We're good right now. We can go right now. We're good.
All right, Toad. Please tell me what happened.
Yeah, Toad and I can work on it. I can turn a phrase every now and again, and Toad can guide me, and we can put something together.
Do we need to get these barrels, kegs, back up to Thatch? I'm wondering if this is his cider or if this is the elixir. Maybe it will help the gardens growing for Coriander and everybody. Maybe it might be worth taking some of these barrels. And by the way, I don't hope you don't mind. I'm just going to fill up my water skin with the elixir, if that is all right, because I feel maybe it will come in useful later for us. And he bends down and sort of fills up his, water skin with some of the elixir, but is trying to strategize how we maybe will get some barrels up to the surface.
That is absolutely a good idea, Blanco.
Great.
And Evis also fills their water skin up.
Amazing.
Yeah,
those
that's
of you
a great idea. I didn't even think about that.
From the elixir, are you doing elixir or are you doing sap? People
Sap from the tree around that well.
You get the sap. You get the good stuff. You gotta get that. Okay,
I'm just gonna pick up a barrel.
Amazing. Perfect.
Can I notice? Are they packaging it to send somewhere? Was this where they just look like? I mean, I know I'm kind of a little tipsy, but were they trying to sell it or?
No, you can tell that it was, at least from looking at what you guys saw in the kitchen, there wasn't mountains of food in there at this point, and obviously they had just captured the frail woman who you can only assume to be, Basil, and sorry, is it Coriander? Coriander, my apologies. You can assume to be Coriander. But other than that, they didn't have much food around as far as you could tell. So maybe they were using this to keep them going. Maybe they were, drinking this as a celebratory thing. You don't know, but they have a couple of kegs of the elixir that they specifically made that seem to just be stored away, separate from the cider, basically.
I go to Arna. Arna, this is a very good idea to carry one. Let me. These are maybe a little bit too heavy for me, but I will roll one. I will. I'll roll one, and maybe we can take it out of here.
Excellent. I believe that now that we have neutralized the threat, the townsfolk should be able to come down and take what they wish from the supplies.
I feel like we should inform Ray with the Abider. He seems like the most capable to organize all of this.
Of course.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Everyone who took some sap, if you add it to your inventory, you will know if it's pure sap, you are going to make Constitution check. DC is, I believe it's 14. I need to double check that, but I believe it's DC 14. And if you don't pass that, then you suffer the poisoned effect, so being drunk, basically. And then, but with pure sap, you're looking at 2d6 worth of healing. And then if you're looking at the elixir, you're looking at 1d6 worth of healing.
Awesome.
The elixir requires no check.
Sap is so much fun in combat. It's so sick. Like, it's such a good trade-off.
No. Cool. Cool. So you guys can add that to your inventories.
Does it work on me?
Oh, hell yeah.
Does it work on you? It works. Oh, that's a great question, Ryan. Wow, that's a great question.
I'll try it.
If you're consuming it normally, no, because pouring it into your face doesn't do anything.
Okay.
If you try and pour it into like your tree or something, yeah, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say pouring it into your face though ain't gonna do nothing.
Enema or something?
Cool. With that, guys, is there anything else you would like to do before you start rolling kegs out of here and making your way out of this kind of cave? Anything else you want to go do and explore and look around? Anything like that?
I dropped my sword. Can I do a quick scan to see if there's another weapon lying around, just so I can replace it with?
There's the war axes that the Jurgar were using. The one of the Grimlocks had like a club with some nails in it. But other than that, there's no like swords or anything like that.
Cool. I'll carry on then.
Cool. Anyone else?
He's supposed to be playing the most obnoxious harmonica song. It's just like he's just playing, just like until someone stops me when we're playing a song. So yeah, that's going on as we get out of here.
So out of tune, so sharp at times and so dull at others.
As Toad's playing that, I try to accompany Toad with my rendition of whistling to add into a duo, and then I'm looking over to Arnar to see if Arnar has noticed that we're actually having a little bit of a rehearsal as we're walking out of the cavern.
Yes.
Oh, this is attempting to be music. Okay. And he starts like hitting the barrel with his hand to keep rhythm.
There we go.
So we're whistling, harmonicizing, is that a word? And tapping the barrel as we go.
I'll also take a barrel.
Awesome. Anyone else? I'll say as you guys kind of go out, you probably check through and look through the kitchen and make your way through and aren't super fast about leaving. Would someone like to make an investigation check for the team?
The detective?
Yeah, not me.
Dirty 20 on Arnar's investigation check as you guys are leaving the cavern. As you do find a dwarven-made short sword laid up against one of the walls. And the dwarven-made short sword is basically you can tell it's some sort of less valuable metal in the center. However, folded around the edge of the blade is like a shinier metal basically coating around the edge of the blade.
At this point, can Blanco sort of take a look at it? Because from Brynlord, having a look, and he checked to see if maybe this is a sword that maybe his master had made and has come down, and now back in the day he had made it.
Go for it. You have expertise. I'm not going to make you roll for this. Okay. You look at it, and you can tell it's dwarven in the handle is very similar to dwarven build, but the blade itself kind of hooks upwards at the top and has a tiny little hook at the end. So it's not the typical dwarven style that you've known your entire life. It's ever so slightly this off kind of style that you definitely haven't seen from any of the people in Brynlaw or Incendium when you live there.
This is a dwarven sword, but this is not from my people. This is new to me, but it has good craftsmanship, but this is está nuevo para mí. It's new to me. But I have my rapier here on my hip that I cherish, so I don't know, who would like to carry this? Would anyone like to take this?
I could use a sword.
How big? It's a medium creature sword. It's a medium creature sword for sure.
Toad, I think just looking at the size, this might be a little bit.
I'll hold it for Toad.
Peso. Okay, all right. Here you go, young fellow.
And I hold it for Toad, and I say, Toad, I'll hold it for you, and anytime you need it, it's here for you to use. I'll just put it right here next to my roll up.
As you're saying this, Ulfer kind of is got a keg, and he's walking past you as he's like exiting out through the tunnel that you guys first came in, and he walks past you guys, and he's like, it's almost like Toad could pull on your ears and guide you, and you could swing the sword, something like that, almost like a food dish or something. I don't know. And he walks through and continues to the brass doors.
Could I take the stone axe from the statue?
Yeah, for sure.
I'll rip that off.
Can you make wow, what check do I get someone to make to rip a stone off a statue cleanly?
It doesn't have to be that clean. I can mend it up. So
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't know.
You don't need to. You just rip it clean off.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an old statue. It's all good.
I'll mend it. Yeah.
Amazing. You mend it, and now you have a stone axe.
Sweet.
I'll say when you hit it, we're gonna make checks to see if it breaks.
That's fair.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Cool. As you guys make your way back out of these kind of caves, and all of you reemerge carrying ale, elixir, sap, a new sword, a drunk toad, whatever it might be, you all emerge carrying various things. And as you do, the light hits you guys in the eyes as the wind blowing around the island, sobering to many, including yourself. Yes. As the wind hits you crisp and your poisoned condition begins to kind of peter away. As you guys make your way up the stairs and back to the island, you can see that there is the lady that had like the like flat top with the curly like perm at the top is kind of making her way across the grass towards the blacksmith at the moment. Other than that, there's no one else about.
I just quickly as we get outside of Toad. I don't know how much Compass meant us you up. But I'd just like to say thank you for healing that tree. It meant so much to me that you did that with the rain and everything. I'd like to give you this, which is my 8 grams of marijuana, or what's it actually called? Yeah. Thank you very much. I give it to Toad.
Oh, this is.
I can hold that for you, Toad, if you don't have any place to put it up.
I'll let you hold it for now. I'll let you hold it for now. Thank you. I have a terrible headache, but no, I saw what that kind of inspired me. The way that you kind of care for the tree and nature kind of brought me back to more of my, I guess, roots, you can say too. So
nice pun.
I'm glad I was able to kind of help.
Thank you.
And I do want to say this. So I mean, you are still, no matter what form you're in now, you're still a water genasi. It doesn't matter if you're in that form now, because you still are who you are. It doesn't matter the shell. So,
thank you. Cheers.
At that moment, you see the lady who's walking across the grass kind of stop in her tracks. She looks at the sacred tree. As you all look across the grass to the sacred tree, you can see the bark no longer ashen in color. A beautiful birch beige fills it with little brown knots all over the tree. You can see growing out of the branches are gorgeous little cherry blossoms all the way across all the branches. And she stops for a second. She's like, "Oh my god, the tree!" And then she turns and she sees you guys, and she's like, "You did it! The tree! Oh my god! Wow! Oh, I don't even know what to say. Thank you!" And she literally just like runs towards the tree and like places her hands on the tree and just begins like muttering to herself as she places her hands on the tree.
At this point, Blanco is still like pushing the. I will take this to Thatch. R&R, you have the barrel. Are you coming with me to Thatch? Are we depositing?
I will accompany you. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it because I'm sometimes the barrel sort of comes out of my grip and I'm worried it will sort of roll over me. Thank you.
Would you like me to pick it up? If you can carry my maul, I can try to double heads, maybe.
I was going to say, could one of you take my barrel? Because I'm not going to Thatch.
Oh, I can attempt to.
Yeah, that'll be...
Okay, I will keep rolling, and if we go together, I think it will be good.
Get a good price for them.
Is that athletics, I'm assuming?
Yes, please, yeah.
Okay. You know what? I've got one rage left in me. I'm going to rage so I get advantage. Focus. Okay.
One last rage left.
21.
21. Amazing. With a 21, yeah, you're able to lift the second cask onto your shoulders. You're all good. All's good. As you guys are kind of stood, kind of talking, the door to the pub opens, and you see come out the kind of withered lady kind of come out in the arms of Basil, her sister, kind of carrying her, and she's like, "Thank you so much. I can't believe what you guys have done. Please come see me in the fruit shop. I'm happy to give you guys, thanks or something, but at least let me get you a round of drinks later. I need to get her home and look after her for a little bit. Thank you so much, all of you."
No pasa nada. It was our pleasure.
Thank you. And she begins like carrying Coriander across the grass, who's like limping, and she kind of like waves at you guys. She looks at R&R, and R&R, you've seen many people look at you. Many people have looked into your eyes. Many people have looked around your eyes. Those who look into your eyes often look with a look of fear, a look of being intimidated. The look that this woman gives you as she looks you directly into your eyes is that of love and appreciation and warmth and just pure gratitude is what you receive as this woman looks over her shoulder and makes eye contact with you before continuing to like hobble across the grass towards her home.
R&R is a little bit shaken by this, as he's not used to that at all. So I think he kind of stops walking for a couple of seconds, and kind of hangs back for a second before kind of catching his breath and then moving on without saying anything.
Amazing. As you and Blanco kind of reach the front of the pub, the doors open as Rayward kind of comes out. "Oh, I heard the good news, and look at our tree, yes!" And he gives like a little jump, and you see like kind of clicks his heels together. He's like, "Yes, look at that tree. It's looking beautiful. That's exactly what we've been hoping for this whole time. You guys are amazing. That 20 gold, I have 20 gold for each of you sat up in my cabin. I'm happy to get it for you, but tonight we at the Lacrima party hard, woo! And I would like to personally invite every single one of you to a celebration tonight where we can drink and enjoy one another's company with the rest of the island folk, if that would be all right with you lot."
We'd be honored. We didn't do anything special. We just all worked at a team, and we were really happy to have helped out and whatever we can do in the future, we'd do it again. And as far as the 20 gold, well, that isn't why we did it. We did it because it was the right thing to do. And thank you so much for allowing us to bring happiness and healing to your island.
Oh, let me just ask, is the door open? Can we go look beneath the island finally?
Yes. There's quite a few bodies down there, but yes.
Well, it's been a hard time for Lacrima. I understand why there might be bodies.
This is Travis. Drop Travis's body. Yeah. I don't know if you can like resurrect him and then kill him again, just to teach him a lesson about the terrible travesty he did with the tree. But
he's just joking about the killing him again. But aren't we wrong?
I honestly don't have these powers, but this is what was doing this to our island.
Is Blake? Can we hear Blake?
I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Your mouth moved.
I was going to.
He turned. Well, I suppose we should probably get rid of the bodies before we let anyone go tourist. Their way down there. So, and he kind of turns back around and presses the door to the public. He goes, Thatch, could you send Valo down to clear the caves, please? And lets the door down. You hear it inside. Valo, yeah, can you? Valo, it's time. Go on. Come on. We need you. Can you come up here? There's a job for you. And the door kind of closes. He's like, all right, I will go make my way to my cabin for your gold. And if you guys are carrying a lot of stuff, if you need any showers, I'm sure Thatch would supply. And if you'd like to freshen up for the evening celebrations, I will get the town right on it.
And I may have a little, we talked about maybe doing a show, I think, right? I think we talked about before.
We did. We talked about you performing, and your tones are so beautiful. How could I say no to the heroes of Lacrima? You may all put on a show if you wish.
Yes, I think it's for all of us. We would all like to.
That would be fantastic. Who knew a bunch of adventurers that could also entertain? It's a double whammy. Oh, jeepers, it's so great. And he begins kind of hobbling across the grass. He's like, is there anything else anyone needed before I go get into my my clean sack for tonight?
Clean sack? I don't think so. Is there anything you guys need?
Evis takes a second and they look back at the tree and they say, I'm gonna need a moment. I need to make sure it's okay,
Oh, please, our tree is a symbol for all hope. With that being said, feel free to go and enjoy our tree.
Of course. I just want to make sure that it's fully healed so that your hope can be healed.
Oh, dearie, my heart is mending by the second, and you are bringing more joy by the minute, so don't you worry. And he begins kind of shuffling across the grass. And you can see, like, instead of leaving footprints, he just leaves, like, long trails as his feet kind of shuffle, and they flatten, like, a long trail behind him of grass instead of footprints.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are left, stood quietly with the wind blowing and the sun kind of beginning to turn from like a bright yellow to an orangey, like an ember orange, basically, like a deep orange, basically, as it moves across the sky and begins looking towards setting.
Guys, as we take the barrel to Thatch, shall we ask him? Maybe we can clean up for this evening. How is everyone feeling? I know maybe myself and maybe a drink and a, a bit of a clean down would be really good. But I will need to get rid of this barrel and maybe how is everyone feeling?
Well, I feel absolutely tremendous. I must say, I don't have a single scratch on me, which is, like I said 4 days ago, lots of scratches on me. Much better this time. Went much better. I wonder where my blasted dragon has gotten to. Kimiyosato is always... I bet you all, one of our gold from Raywood that he's in the pub drinking right now. I reckon we walk in and his drunk ass will be in there drinking, as per bloody usual. But... that's me. That's all. I definitely. I think though I'm feeling a little bit tired. The old lightning one took it out of me a little bit. So I'm going to go take a nap for an hour or two, and then I will reconvene with you guys. Maybe downstairs in the brewery, if that's all right.
Agreed. I have a deep clean with the apprentice that I've scheduled, so I might go do that.
That's a great shout. And if you all don't mind, when we do meet, I would love to just, before we get into festivities and, Toad ends up like he was earlier, so on and so forth, I would very much like to just have a quick conversation with you all, if that's all right. It will be very brief, I'm sure.
Was that
Insight? Insight, yeah, go for it. Yeah, you can make an insight check.
Oh, I feel like
I want to discuss the prospect of us becoming, some partners of a sense, something along those lines. But I'm happy to discuss it with you guys. And you've asked me questions, and I've been reserved, but you guys have proven how amazing you are, and I will give you more answers, I promise. But right now, my freaking head hurts, and my hand is still a little bit staticky from the old lightning, So I'm going to go hit the old... I mean, do they have hay here? Has anyone slept here? Are they using hay? Or what are they using for their beds here?
Wonderful question. I've not experienced sleep here yet, so...
Yeah, I
don't experience sleep in general, so there's that.
Right? I haven't slept in 180 years, so I feel you there.
Oh.
Actually, there was something weird. I mean, we're all friends here, I'll tell you. I had a dream the other night, and I've never dreamt before. Not since this happened. I just mean, do you know if there's been any magical activity or something that would affect me, Mr. Powerful Man? Ulfa, is that your name?
My name is Ulfa. And my answer to your question is
big egg and a ship and someone steering it and a big
Wait.
magic.
I think I had something similar.
Agreed.
I had a dream of and it was really weird.
Wait, whoa. What?
Me recuerdo. Sí, yo también. Yep, me also.
This 2 days, a day ago or so.
A day, right?
It was right before we landed on when I landed on Lacrima. It was that night, and I remember it well. And it felt very, very real. And I don't know what it really meant, but it felt like it was significant about something. And
at this point, Ulfer's demeanor has changed from almost charismatic, shoulders forward, to his brow has become very low, and you can see he's deep in thought for a second, where he goes, wait. There was a blast. I felt something. I don't know what dream you guys are talking of, but a blast. Yes, there was something recently. There was a way. I don't know what it was. Something passed through me no more than a day ago, and it was very odd. Very odd. The fact that you are all having the same dream is not a common occurrence. That is not something that happens to people very often at all. This might be bigger than I don't know. That seems very odd. Maybe we can talk about this more at length, in this dream, and maybe dissect it a little bit more after I have possibly proposed my offer to you guys. As I don't want to talk to you guys about stuff that isn't my business unless we're going to be homies, as it were, that kind of thing. So I'm going to chip off, but thank you guys. You truly are. And he looks at Geo. All of you, incredible. You are amazing people, and you blow me away. And I believe that there is greatness here. Hidden deep, let me just say. But there is greatness here. I can feel it. Definitely in this group. I will see you later. And with that, he turns, places his arms behind his back, and walks into the pub.
Well, what would you like to do, Toad? Do you want to follow R&R, or do you want to follow Evis to the tree?
Let's go check on. Let's make sure Evis is okay. So yeah, let's. Here, how about this? You go check on Evis. I'm gonna check on R&R because he paused me there for a second. So if you do that, as your first, since you're part of the team now, this will be your first kind of, I guess, mission. You want to take it? First case.
Yeah, I'd love to. Should I let you down, or are you gonna?
I'm good. I'm good now. I have a slight headache, but I think I'm okay. I kind of peel myself off, just like. There you go.
Evis, can you please describe during all this talking how you've gone over to this tree, what you've done in terms of how are you looking after this tree and what you're doing? I would very, very much love to hear that.
Yeah, the way that they approach the tree is, similarly to the way that they kind of tapped into the spirit before we went down. There's that big gnarled knot on the front that they kind of use as a place to. Sorry, brain just died. They use as a place to like place their hand and start as like a focus to get into like literally the system of the tree. It's because the tree was planted, they said, by air genasi, and that's where Evis is descended from. They feel like that spiritual connection to the tree itself, and they're using it to see if maybe not only to like feel the connection of the tree through like the breeze flowing through the branches and the leaves of the tree itself, but also to see if they can tap into like the air of their around their partners, to see if they can get an idea of potentially where they are, how they're doing, if they're even alive. It's like a real spiritual moment right now.
Amazing. As you reach forward and you place your hand upon the sacred tree, you feel this time not that crack of frightening like image that hit your mind, but instead a pulse. Almost as if life has been reborn within the tree. You feel almost energy flowing from the roots upwards out to the branches, and then extending outwards past there into the realm around you. As you search in your mind for a sense, for a feeling about Is and Pave, as you really dive deep into this moment and you search, you feel something as your hand kind of moves along the groove. And suddenly, boom, you feel like your hand is almost placed within a groove that another hand is made. Something soft and familiar, a shape that you know. And as you hold it there, you can feel that someone you know was here. Someone very close to you was here. And as that happens, the wind blows and you get rushed away in that moment of thought. And you hear just that thing that makes you most comfortable. The wind. As you stand there. Over to you.
You can almost like feel like the oxygen rolling off of the tree, and it filling my lungs, returning life, returning breath. And it's that like deep inhale, feeling the air come through. And when I notice Geo coming to check.
And
knowing that the tree's okay and that at least people are alive.
Geo just kind of comes up and says, "Hey, Evis, are you okay?"
I'm okay. Thank you so much for asking. Are you okay? That's the most important question.
Yeah, I'm okay, and I'm ready. And he pulls out a handkerchief and hands it to you. And says, "I'm really, really happy that we got to meet again. I feel like it's an important meeting, and I feel like sometimes people are meant to meet each other and then meet each other again, and it can be really, really great. And we've got a lot in our future, and I can't wait to do it with you. It's going to be amazing. And I just want to thank you for being there for me and helping me. And I promise you, I will do everything I can to be better."
All this entire group asks is that you're true to you, and you're performing to the best of your ability. We're not asking you to push yourself to be more. But
Thanks.
I appreciate the sentiment. I know it means a lot to you.
Thanks, Evis.
Thanks. They do they take your big hand and their medium-sized hands and squeeze.
Amazing, and a bond between two people who could not be further from one another in beliefs is formed in a way that is not done often in any world or plane. And that energy is felt between the two of you. Back over outside the pub, Toad and R&R, you guys have kind of made your way inside with Blanco. Rom, you've made your way towards the blacksmith to go get your cleaning.
Is that past the tree in any way, shape, or form? Or
No, it's before the tree.
the well?
Yeah, it's past the well.
Cool. So at the well, I'd like to druidcraft a message being like, "This island is protected by the Amelia Familia." Yeah, and then just walk on.
Amazing. You druid crafting in what sense? Explain.
So it's sorry, it's not druid crafting. It's like a secret language of the druids.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like etching that into the wall, so it's like markings on the stone bit of the well.
Awesome, amazing. So you scratch that in as you then make your way over to the blacksmith. The blacksmith, Cecil wasn't there. The dwarf Kenji, his assistant, is. He offers you a full service, which involves, basically shutting you down for a little bit. Him going in and like cleaning out behind some of the rocks, like trimming some of the like loose branches and stuff that are beginning to grow out of your arm, and just basically greasing your like hinges of your legs and like all that kind of stuff. Just giving you a full MOT basically, and just looks after you. I want to cut into the pub with R&R, Toad, and Blanco, and you guys, as you guys enter, you can see Ulfer walking up the stairs, and as he does, he goes, "I told you he'd be drinking," and points over at his pseudo dragon that is currently on the bar, and you can see one wing is like hanging off the bar. Tankard is kind of tipped over, and he's just like just asleep on the bar, and he's like, "What can you do?" And begins making his way upstairs to go and have a sleep. Thatch stood behind the bar, is like, "Goddamn, you can't take dragons anywhere. They're a bloody mess. I just don't." He picks up the tankard and kind of begins while he's like, "This. Never mind. I'm gonna leave the little guy sleep it off for a little bit. I'm gonna let him sleep. Feels like he needs a little bit of sleep, so I'm gonna let him sleep for a little. Hey guys, I heard about the great news. Thank you so much. You guys know. All of you drink here for free forever. Well, I say forever. Now, obviously, I'm probably not going to live forever, but I will tell my kid that y'all drink for free, and I'll tell him to tell his kid so that we can like pass this on through generations, and you guys can keep coming back,
R&R is going to put the barrels down and then wordlessly walk out of the inn.
Oh. So I'm gonna be like follow, like just flying, be like, or hold on a second. Like we'll be right back. Gonna go.
No problem. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Hey there, Blanco. How are you doing? You're looking a little bit ruffled up. Your fur's looking a little bit more on end than it was before. Some of your braids and plaits that Evis did before have come out a little bit.
Say muy descansado. I'm very tired. Here's the final barrel that we brought back.
Oh, damn.
Is there any chance I can go and curl up in a room somewhere and maybe...
Of course. Please take one of the private rooms. Don't tell Ulfer because I just gave him one of the public rooms, but go take one of the private rooms. I would love for you to go do that. When you seem like you've been through a lot, and I don't know, I can tell that you're needing a nice soft bed for the night. So you head on up, go take a private room. I'll make sure no one comes and disturbs you until we start the festivities later.
Sí, necesito una siesta, just a siesta, just to regenerate and get back on my feet again. Gracias.
It's not a problem. I hope you enjoy. And
¿Qué número? What number is the room?
If there's only 2 rooms up on that side, so if one of them's locked, we don't have any patrons in, so one of them might be locked because Myrtle, are the rooms upstairs locked? She's sitting in her rocking chair, still exceedingly pregnant. She's like, no, I don't think so. I think it should be all good. You can go on, head on up if you need to. I'll get the keys, but otherwise, I think you're all good. Head on up, darling. Go on.
Gracias. Muchísimas gracias. Me voy. I'm going.
No problem. See you later. And we cut to outside with Arnar and Toad.
Arnar just walks kind of to the edge of the island and takes a seat, like feet dangling off it.
I'm gonna fly up and just kind of make usual spot on his shoulder. Ooh, is everything okay there? I was back there not too long ago. Is everything job well done at least? I mean, you were able to kind of solve the case, so.
I believe this might be more than that. I mean, if you look at what we've done back in the Republic, it's just their crimes, but this felt... Nobody has looked at me like that since my mother, and I don't know what's happening. I don't feel as removed from the situation as I'd like to be, and that scares me deeply.
So Toad's kind of quiet for a moment, just kind of thinking. I mean, you don't talk about your mom very often, so I do think this is probably is a little deeper than that, but it's okay to feel that kind of connection. I think that's maybe what you might be feeling, and that's okay. It's okay to care about the case in general, or to get close to it. I don't know. It's not so bad, I think, is what I'm trying to say. So
These people are not strong. If something happens to them, then what happens to me? I can't afford to make that sort of judgment call.
No, I don't think anyone really can per se, but we just do the best we can do. Like the times you saved me back in the Republic. I mean, it's same like that. Sometimes you just gotta do the best you can do and just kind of hope it all ends well. It's all you really can do. So as long as you're doing your best, I mean, which we've seen your best, that's pretty damn good. I mean, put my bet on it, so it's what it's worth.
Arnar smiles for probably one of the few times that Toad has ever seen it. And he says, Do you think I'm competent enough to protect these
Like
people?
you're more than competent enough. Yes, I'd way more. Like no, like just beyond. Seriously, with the way your mind works, we're able to figure things out. Like you, yes, I mean, just like you did today with that, with hazel or coriander or some other herb. I forget the name. Um, the way you were able to help, like, you have no doubt that you're going to be able to keep, um, all of us out of danger and trouble. So
I trust you, and I trust your judgment.
As you guys say this, you see the sun off in the distance begin setting as the light turns from a nice orange to red, and then across the whole sky, like someone let off an explosion, is gorgeous pinks and purples that just ripple outwards from the sun as it begins dipping below the cloud layer below you guys, and slowly night begins to set in.
I would ask one more thing.
Yeah.
Bernard, what, if you don't mind, what was your mother like? If you don't mind, I would love to hear more about her because she seems like a pretty awesome individual. If you,
She only had one arm. She was this powerful warrior, and I specifically remember her being the only person in the tribe who appreciated me for what I was, and not what I was supposed to become.
Wow, that was absolutely stunning, guys. I don't think there's a better place to round out today's session than that. Um, Amber, can you please add inspiration for your moment at the tree? Geo, can you please have inspiration for your moment going up to Amber? Arnar and Toad, you guys can both take inspiration as well for that beautiful moment as well. Guys,
Man.
this has been an absolutely banging session. Thank you all so much. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Skyrun. We really appreciate it. Really hope you enjoyed the players fighting Travis Darkheart and his band of Duragars under the island, finding out that they were destroying the sacred tree from underneath. And we hope that in the next episode you join us for the festivities as Lacrima celebrates the liberation of their sacred tree and the rebirth and rejoice of this island. We look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Otherwise, we do have a Discord community that you can join where we release our content early and you can interact and talk about all that amazing stuff with us. There's a link to that in the description. As well as also, guys, if you want more of this content, please follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's all the best places where you will find our content, live streams, catalogs of videos, as well as also interacting with us when we're posting stuff on Twitter. So we really hope to see you guys for the next one. Thank you so much for watching.